What do you make of the fact that he was democratically elected, even won the popular vote? How does that make him a king?
It doesn't make him a king. It makes him a president, not a king.
Well, this is called No Kings. So what does that mean to you?
It means we got to get rid of him. He's not a king. It's a democratic process, and we've gone that route with him. Now he's acted like a king.
Can you give me a specific example?
Specific example? Well, there's a million of them all put together. There's no one example. It's exactly.
Just one or two?
It's more than one or two.
No, can you give me one or two examples?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, I can, I guess. I'm just in a loss of thought here on. There's a lot of things.
Okay.
I can't really.
Okay, well, thank you.
The far right, seeing Trump and Vance and Charlie Kirk and all, you know, they are white fascist supremacists. Why? Why? Yeah. You're trying to understand why I think Trump is a racist.
Yeah, I'm asking for an explanation. Yeah.
Wow. Let me pinpoint it because it's been an accumulation of knowing about him for the last 20 years in New York. I can't really say why I think he's racist. That's like saying, you know, he's a white guy.
So what brings you out today?
No King's Day.
And why specifically are you out supporting No King's Day?
I think protest is important.
Why are you protesting?
How much time do you have?
A couple minutes. And what's the main reason you're out here protesting President Trump?
I agree with a lot of the decisions that are being made.
Is there any decision in particular you disagree with?
Okay, so I would start with, well, I don't even think it's appropriate for me to have this interview.
Typical. Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be jumping into the stories for this evening. Gardening, good to see you in the chat. All right, now remember, you guys can engage by posting your comments in the chat about the stories that we're covering. So the first story we're going to be looking into today, we're essentially going to go down memory lane. Okay, so last week I had a conversation with someone who essentially decided that they were going to argue with me about the DOJ, Trump's DOJ going after the likes of Comey and Letitia James, and they told me that that Letitia James had every right to go after Trump, and that the judge's assessment that his property was worth $19 million was accurate. So I sent him a bunch of rebuttals, but we're going to look at a report from a few years back by NBC, and it was none other than Kristen Welker who gave this report years ago. I like going back through history to essentially look at what they were saying back then and what they are saying today. So here's this report by NBC, and Kristen Welker was essentially doing a report on Mar-a-Lago. Let's have a listen.
Donald Trump's home here in Palm Beach is quickly earning the title Winter White House. It's a storied estate steeped in history. Mr. Trump has spent the past 20 Thanksgivings here. But now, as president-elect, everything is different. The 20-acre estate was originally built by serial heiress Marjorie Merriweather Post. She actually envisioned it as a winter retreat for U.S. presidents. Now, some say it's the most valuable parcel of land anywhere in Florida. Much of the 126-room estate is used by the members-only Mar-a-Lago Club. Donald Trump's home here in Palm Beach is quickly earning the title.
So this was the report that they gave, and they had glowing reviews. Oh, meanwhile, there's someone in the chat. Okay, so whenever a chat comes in, I like to be a gracious host and a polite host, and I want to recognize Dottie Reed. Dottie Reed looks like a first-time chatter. All right, and she says Trump is not racist. You just say that because someone told you that with no proof. None of them know what they're talking about. You're very correct, Dottie Reed. You're very correct. And we have Intergalactic Wrangler in the chat. He says, hello, everyone. Okay, awesome. So, we're always told that Trump is racist. We're told that Trump, inflated the value of his property and that the courts were right, as if we've never seen miscarriages of justice. Okay, now we have JM as well in the chat. All right, the band is back together. The band is back together. So JM says Miss Welker is one of the biggest Mockingbird agents used against the people. Now, if you don't know what Project Mockingbird is, it is a, gosh, should I say this? My channel is too small to start attracting that kind of smoke from the three-letter agency. Okay, so one of the three-letter agencies created this program where they would essentially reprogram the American people by blasting a lot of information, let's call it that, over the mass media. And it was meant to influence public opinion and essentially reprogram the public at a mass scale. And so what we're seeing in real time most of the time is that in operation, because why is it that we have JM says, no, don't say it. Okay, so what we have most of the time is outlets like CNN, TDSBC essentially playing the parts that they've been assigned by said three-letter agency. Now, we're going to also look at this because this afternoon, while we were having our members-only live stream, which most of you missed, okay, we talked about the Grand Platner situation, and we looked at, we're going to be covering the body cams that were released yesterday. 1,630 body cams from J6 have been released. And guys, we have access to them. So we're going to be looking at the body cams from January 6th, the insurrection. So Gardening and I, during the members only live stream, decided that we were going to play a game. We're going to call it Find the Insurrection. All right. So we're going to watch the body cam footage and we're going to find the insurrection, the takeover of the government, the attacking law enforcement, the thing that they said happened that every one of them gets really excited and aroused over every time they're like, we're going to say it. We're going to say it. You see those Senate hearings where they're like, I can't wait to say it. You can literally see that they can't wait to say January 6th. It's like they're just, they can't help themselves. And just like January 6th, they can't help but continue to sell hoaxes like the Very Fine People hoax, even after it's been debunked. So I said to Gardening, I said, even when we go through the 1,630 body cam videos and confirm that none of the things they accused the Republicans or MAGA of doing on January 6th, or Trump of doing on January 6th, they're going to continue spreading the lie. Just like the Very Fine People hoax, just like the hoax that Trump ordered the crowd that were at the rally on January 6th to storm the Capitol and to fight like hell. We saw that the BBC edited that video to make it sound like that was what he did. All right. JM says you say it so elegantly. Well, I try. So let's watch this. Essentially, Bernie Sanders hasn't gotten the memo that this hoax has been debunked.
When you have a president commenting on a march by Nazis and white supremacists, who then declares, well, there are nice people on both sides. Mr. President, there are no nice Nazis.
I'm not overly impressed by a squad of media running around saying, what do you think about the tattoo on Grand Platner's chest? Between you and me, there might be one or two more important issues.
So
When you
so the person who claims to be against Nazis was promoting Nazis until very recently, the last 24 hours. So Bernie Sanders essentially has lined up to stone Graham Platner. Essentially, they're calling for him to step down. JM says the greatest threat to democracy, they say, lol. That was the favorite punchline they all parroted for years. Yeah, because sadly, the people who don't do their own research, the people who just listen to everything they hear on TV, believe it and parrot it, you know, they're out there. And Intergalactic Wrangler reminds us, please smash the like button. Please smash the like button. Okay, the thumbs up button, please. Okay, if you're not going to chat and contribute in the chat, you can just hit the thumbs up. Okay, it helps out a whole lot. Okay, so a lot of this, okay, happens right before our eyes. And speaking of other Mockingbird agents, we have the stars of the Mockingbird Project, The View. Deranged, The View's Sonny Hostin insists she would still vote for Maine U.S. Senate Democratic. I hate saying that word Democratic because they are anything but Democratic. Democrat candidate Graham Platner, despite she would still vote for him despite new credible allegations against him before going on an unhinged tirade against Republicans. Let's listen to this. This is the Mockingbird Project on steroids.
It is a disgusting time in politics where we decide what we're willing to morally accept based on the jersey you're wearing. And if you are one of those people that was willing to plug your nose, you're the problem.
Well, then I'm the problem because I was one of those people, and I said it, if I lived in Maine, I would have, plugged my nose and I would have voted for him anyway. I think that we are in a time of existential crisis in this country. I think Republicans fall in line. They don't fall in love. Democrats.
They're still saying that. Existential threat.
Crisis in this country. I think Republicans fall in line. They don't fall in love. Democrats want to fall in love and not fall in line. You know, the Republican Party, the bar is so very low. I cannot believe that they want to try to assume the moral high ground on the Republican Party. Right. I mean, you can miss me with all that, especially when you have Pete Hegseth, who was confirmed by the Senate in 2025 as the head.
Is she about to cry? Is she about to cry?
As a cabinet member, as the defense secretary, when he had drinking allegations, his sister-in-law submitted a sworn affidavit describing his drinking problem. And in order to get confirmed, he pledged that he wouldn't drink on the job. Number two, he had a tattoo controversy, not one, but two tattoo controversies. One was a Deus Vult tattoo, which is used by white nationalist groups.
It's the Jerusalem, they use these fancy words so that you don't know what they're talking about. It's called the Jerusalem cross. It's a cross, guys. It's a cross. It's a cross.
Two, he has a Jerusalem cross tattoo, which has been interpreted as an extremist symbol. And finally, in 2017...
Guys, if you're Christian and you're listening, okay, these guys who are pushing the, Project Mockingbird, talking points, want the world to believe that Christians are dangerous. So when there's Christian iconography, they react. We're going to watch a video. I think it might be next. Maybe I'll pull it up next. It's a video of a homeowners association essentially demanding that residents take down the American flag. But let's keep listening.
Claimed he had sexually assaulted her after a conference. She reported that assault.
Okay, so the woman who she's talking about, let's listen. Then I'll tell you what happened with the woman who claims that Pete Hegseth sexually assaulted her. Let's listen to this.
Claimed he had sexually assaulted her after a conference. She reported that assault immediately. She had a sexual assault examination, and in 2020, and he says it was a consensual encounter. And in 2020, he paid her $50,000 to settle the claim. Yet.
Okay, so let me tell you what happened with that in case you don't know. So Pete Hegseth goes for a conference, and then there's a lady who served as the liaison. She was essentially meant to be his handler during the conference because he was the special guest. Now, this lady had a husband, okay? She's married with a child, all right? Pete Hegseth goes down to the bar to have a drink, and what do you know? The lady who has a husband and her child at the same hotel comes down to the bar to sit with Pete Hegseth and sits and drinks with him until and Pete does most of the drinking. She isn't drunk. There was video evidence to show that the person who was visibly inebriated was Pete. She was of sound mind. She follows Pete to his room, has sex with Pete, okay, and then leaves to go to her hotel room where her husband and child are sleeping. She waits for hours. I think it was a little over a day. Her husband had to interrogate her before she broke down to say, okay, that she slept with Pete Hegseth, and then went on to claim that it was rape. The person who was inebriated was Pete Hegseth. The person who had their full faculty was the woman. Okay, the documents are out there, guys. Go do your own research. Don't take my word for it. But these people continue to repeat these hoaxes. Why? Because it's convenient. They sit in a studio filled with these people who are brainwashed, and when she finishes this tirade, you see these guys, they're like, oh my goodness, yes, say it, girl. Oh my God, you're so brave. They're just a bunch of liars.
Condemn them all.
Yes,
I condemn them all.
But the Republicans didn't do that.
Matt Gaetz,
the Republicans confirmed him, and
I'm a Republican right here condemning anyone who's been credibly accused of sexual abuse.
I'm talking about the Republican Party as a whole.
So would you be comfortable?
They are the Epstein file.
So if you're listening right now and you're Republican, you're a registered Republican, you are the Epstein class.
Protection Party.
You'd be comfortable still voting for Graham Plattner if you lived in Maine?
Can I just say one thing about this?
So that is the view, okay, guys. Let me know what you think in the chat. Okay, let's know what you think in the chat about this smooth-brained rant that she just went on. JM says they destroyed many people's lives with that verifying people hoax. That's true, or with the J6 hoax as well. Excuse me. JM also says, what these people will do for power, they don't deserve to be anywhere near power. But of course, they hire people like Sonny Hostin of The View. They wholeheartedly want to vote for the likes of Graham Plattner. You know, they love these crazy people. All right, now I want to play that video, okay, of the HOA because it is insane. All right. It's insane that you have stuff like this happening. All right. So this is in California. And you have a homeowners association essentially attacking patriotism. All right. So I saw this report this morning, and I felt, okay, maybe we should take a look at this and talk about it. A woke homeowners association in San Diego is forcing patriotic residents to take down their American flags, threatening them with fines. And that's the pattern. I'm going to show you another video today of a lady who was essentially attacked for not parroting woke ideology because she won a beauty contest, but they told her she had to sign the dotted line endorsing a certain woke ideology. She refused, and they decided that they decided to disqualify her and strip her of the title and give it to someone else who would sign the dotted lines. Let's have a listen, because here's what happened. Sorry, what happens? And I'm gonna get off my soapbox in a bit. I'm desperately trying to get this show out because there's so much to say, and I know that I talk too much sometimes. So I'm trying to kind of get it all out very quickly. So I think it was last night, I kept talking about being careful about what I say because it's a small channel and YouTube and so on and censorship, blah, 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 yada, yada, the usual suspects. And today I sat in this chair and I was thinking to myself, am I going to be that guy who claims that I can't say certain things because the channel might be taken down? And I really had to think about it, okay? I really had to think about it because if we continue to play this game that they have forced us to play, where they say to us, if you don't say what we want you to say, we're going to deplatform you. We're going to suppress your content. We're going to hold you back until we can legally strip you of your channel and delete your content. Okay, if we're going to play that game with them, then we've already lost. All right, we've already lost. If I'm going to sit down here and say I can't say this because YouTube, and I keep playing that game, all right, I think we've already lost that fight. Yes, Trump is in the White House, but who knows who's going to be in the White House next? And whoever is in the White House next, whether they're Republican or Democrat, if they are inclined towards giving YouTube the same orders that the Joe Biden administration gave during the Biden years, I think we've basically lost. And that's just me, okay? So let's listen to this, okay? Sorry, I'm getting off my soapbox. Let's listen to this video.
I'm not going to let them bully me with fines to take down the symbol of America.
No, flag isn't coming down. No, everybody had flags up, the whole community. But now the last 2 years, it's slowly, one after another, everyone's flags have come down.
They revisit this again. If the policy stands, then I will be fined every month that my flag is up.
This flag represents freedom and sacrifice and blood that was shed for this country.
Cook says she's a direct descendant of revolutionaries. She wears a Daughters of the American Revolution tattoo. Her husband's father received a Purple Heart and Navy Cross for his sacrifice in World War II.
This is important, and people need to understand that they need to stand up for our country because there's too much at stake.
Residents say this debate with the HOA began 2 years ago. In part of an email explaining the policy in October of 2024, a board member identifies flying an American flag as essentially a political affiliative view.
I think that they don't like looking at my American flag.
The HOA board office was closed. When NBC7 called, the phone service did not include a voicemail option. In a more recent email to Cook, dated May 8, 2026, the Ambiance Owners Association wrote, "These restrictions are not meant as an inconvenience or an invasion of freedom, but rather as a means of maintaining harmony, continuity, and property value."
That's called communism. We all have to look alike. Okay, we can't have you looking like a patriot in a community where we all want to look like communists.
Dave is doubling down. He's had a flag in the front of his home for 35 years. 35. Instead of taking it down, he added a second in his backyard to this palm tree.
They're trying to tell me that the only way we could have one is not in the front or the side of the common property, but I can in my backyard.
Like Cook, Collins was urged to attend Tuesday's board meeting to make his case for displaying the American flag, or face a $100 fine.
For 35 years, that flag has been on that corner.
I should not have to argue about my freedoms to display the symbol of freedom.
So here's what I'm going to say, okay? I'm going to say this. One, this is what they do. All right. They attack people who are patriots. We're just coming off the heels. We're coming off the heels of the 4th of July weekend. And we did enjoy a lot of patriotic displays. But what we're seeing is that we still have a lot of people who are out there who don't love the United States, who believe that displaying the flag is offensive, who believe that being patriotic is a political point of view. It's crazy. Now, the second thing that I'm going to say is this. Again, this is how they operate. They come in and they say, hey, we're not, this is not a fine. This isn't us attacking you. They talk all nice and cuddly, warm and cuddly. And then they say, look, if you don't comply, we're going to fine you. They always go after your income. They go after your money. They find a way to hurt you. Like this story that I mentioned, okay? Here it is. The story about, okay, I'm going to pause, okay? This is a story about this young lady, okay, who essentially was selected, but then again had to be stripped. Now, let's read the chat, okay? The chat has been going. JM says, go figure. In California needs a super deep spiritual awakening and cleansing so much. I've been watching videos and there have been, videos of spiritual awakenings, okay? The thing with spiritual awakenings is this. If it doesn't translate to the people who are spiritually awakened, going out and voting and organizing and voting out the people who want to destroy their city or their state, things will not change. Things will not change. There's been a brainwashing of people who are Christians, and I'm going to say this, to believe that the separation of church and state means you can't think about politics and Jesus at the same time. That has been the silver bullet to the heart of people who are Christians, who are Republican, and who vote. They're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to have a position. They're not allowed to push back, and they're not allowed to essentially identify as a political position while they are pushing their spiritual position. So that's the problem. So you can have all the spiritual awakenings you want, but if it doesn't translate to people going out there and voting and changing things, nothing is going to change. A quick history lesson on the church, okay? Church history. All of the growth that happened under Christianity happened in different political circumstances. You didn't have a democracy, okay? The church couldn't vote out the Caesars. The church couldn't vote out the feudal lords of the Dark Ages and the other ages that had that as the organized political system. They were serfs, they were ruled by lords, but the church had a political position in the Vatican, which was essentially what they were all gravitating towards. This is the very first time in the history of the world where lay people in the church have the power to change their governments in a peaceful, democratic fashion. But what has happened is leftists have infiltrated the political system and the media to tell the church, no, you can't do that. No, you can't preach about politics from the pulpit. Look, guys, we talk about the Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War was organized from the pulpits all around the United States, okay? In England or in Britain, it was called the Presbyterian Revolution because the Presbyterian churches were talking about the revolution from the pulpits on Sunday mornings. So I think a conversation does have to happen. I believe in spiritual awakenings, yes, but I don't believe in spiritual awakenings that don't translate into people doing things. It's like the people who say, well, I love Jesus, but my life looks like shit. Well, Jesus loves me anyway. No, that's a fake spirituality, okay? If you love Jesus, your life has to change. Oh my goodness. Did you say something's wrong with my audio? JM says, check your audio. Can you confirm that my audio is still going? Please just confirm. All right, because I can see the meter bobbing up and down. All right, so can someone just confirm? I'm watching the chat, and let's see. I'm still waiting for someone to confirm. Okay, I don't think I have an issue with it. Okay, so Gardening says there's no problem with the audio from her end. Okay, but I'll pay attention. JM says so much darkness and filth comes from California. Yes. Intergalactic Wrangler says not gonna make me take my flag down ever, and then they attack you with a fine. Here's the thing. Okay. Republicans, conservatives, get into the political system, okay? Vote out anyone in your HOA, local school boards, all of the small offices in your area. You need to get involved, all right? You need to vote in people who love America. That's the way it works. If you don't, you're going to have these people infiltrate these places of power, even though there is soft power, but they're going to use it against you. JM says DOJ should look into this case. This is a gross violation of constitutional rights. Well, let's see if it develops further after this. Intergalactic Wrangler says, but the Muslim community can bring all the religious crap they want. That's true. We saw that story of Muslims distributing the Quran in the school. I think it was in South Carolina, or was it North Carolina? And Jamie Raskin was defending it. But these are the same people who don't want you to pray in schools. They don't want you to read the Bible in schools. They attack anyone. They call it Christian nationalism, but they are fine with Islam, which is a fundamentally political religion. It is not just a religion. It is a world-conquering religion. It is a religion of conquest. All right. Like they talk about it in their mosques. It is out there. They talk about a global caliphate. All right. So is that who Jamie Raskin wants to take over the United States? And they are doing everything they can to take over. We have Mamdani now. And Mamdani essentially is now the kingmaker in the Democrat Party, at least for New York. Okay. So let's watch this video. Today is a nice day, okay? So guys, look, where are we for time? All right, I'm going to have to pivot over to something else soon because it's more like, oh, look at this thing and look at that thing and look at that thing. But everything is connected, guys. Everything is connected. If we don't see the thread, we're going to continue to let things happen, and we'll just say, oh, it's just a homeowners association, or oh, it's just a beauty pageant, or oh, it's just a television show with people with a washed up actress and a washed up federal prosecutor and all of these other people with clapping seals in the audience. It's just that we don't know that all of this is connected, and it's all creating a population that is docile and that essentially believes every hoax that they feed down that dirty media pipe. So let's listen to this story.
You were looking to compete for Miss America, but then they took your Florida crown off you because you made statements about sort of transgender?
Yes, that is exactly right. I was asked to sign a contract that was different than the first one that I had agreed to because they had changed it 4 weeks after I rightly won. And so I didn't lose my crown because I broke a rule. I lost the crown because I was unwilling to rewrite the truth.
And were you super upset, obviously, when you lost your crown and then Miss Cheerleads America reached out to you and said, hey, we will honour you?
Yes, it was heartbreaking, it was confusing, it was disappointing because Miss America has been honouring women for over 100 years and now they can't even define what a woman is. And heartbroken, it was a lot of soul searching, but God uses all things for good, and here I am.
Well, what were the circumstances that you spoke out about this?
So by circumstances, do you mean like?
So at what point did you say that men cannot be women?
Well, immediately as soon as we were given the contract, first thing, my mom and we started raising concern about it and got on a conference call immediately with one of the directors for the Miss America organization, and weeks and weeks and weeks of pleading with them, sending videos, sending letters, emails, demand letters through Liberty Counsel because they picked up my case, and they just no, and they doubled down and basically just got to the point where
But
they
what
said,
was the letter?
What did you say originally? What precipitated you speaking out?
Declining to sign the contract. Yeah, declining to sign the contract.
Okay.
Because I couldn't agree that a little boy could mutilate his body and become a woman.
Why was that in the contract?
I don't know. That's something we got to ask the Miss America organization.
Have you had any celebrity support?
We've had a little bit. Yes, we have.
From who?
Riley Gaines. We've had Lee Allen Baker, the famous Miss Liz Doyle. And a few others, but the support has been crazy encouraging, and it's just been amazing.
And last thing, how do you feel about the Miss America pageant and just organization in general now?
That's a tough question. I used to look up to Miss America because they empowered women, but now it's really disappointing to see that they've abandoned such a common sense truth, and that is that a man is a man and that a woman is a woman.
Yep.
And disappointed in the Miss America organization, but I'm really hoping that they get back on track and return to truth and start honoring God in their pageants.
Well, we can hope all we want, all right? This may sound like a black pill statement, but we can hope all we want. But if we don't get into those spaces and vote people with common sense, or at least a proper moral compass, you're going to continue to hear stories like this. All right. I said during the members only live stream, I said we thought that when Trump won, that the media was going to own up and say, okay, we lost, we're going back and we're going to stop attacking Trump and conservatives and we're going to tell the truth. Look, it's not going to change. It's not going to change. And I said something else during the live stream, which is a very dark thing to say. And that is, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because right now you have the Democrat Party endorsing a foreign religion. Okay, Islam is not native to the people who settled in the United States. It's not. It's not. All right. Anyone can get up and tell you that Muslims were around when Thomas Jefferson wrote penned the Declaration of Independence and so on. Look, they can say all of these things, and look, you and I know that they lie a lot. They just lie. They tell all kinds of lies, and the media will push those lies. So anyway, I'm ranting yet again, but we all have to wake up and see that we can't. It's not business as usual. We're not going to see these people have a change of heart. They're not going to wake up and say, "Oh my, what have I been thinking?" They aren't going to do that. They're all going to continue to double down. They're going to continue to push and push and push the envelope until they get back into power. And the sad thing is, Republicans have a nasty habit of getting complacent and letting the Democrats win. Just like they did in Virginia. Now, in Virginia, there's a story. So Intergalactic Wrangler says, well, one or two of them may wake up. And that's what we hope. We hope that while we're talking about these things and sharing our perspective, that people listen and they do their own research. All we're asking is that people do their own research. That's all we're asking. We're not asking them to have a spiritual awakening or a moment where they're like, oh my goodness, I've been so wrong. All we ask them to do is question what they've heard, question what they've been told, and, essentially change. Change based on their own discoveries. Intergalactic Wrangler says, we can only hope. Well, we can hope. Now, let me switch over to this story coming from Virginia. Okay, an illegal alien has been arrested for the R word in Fairfax County, Virginia, and the monster was only allowed free because local Democrats dropped his prior charges and refused to notify ICE. This is treason. Let's listen to this report, okay? Let's listen to this report.
Department of Homeland Security told me he's from El Salvador.
Is it playing? Sorry. Why? Anyway, so I'm sure everything will be fine. The video was playing just now.
Security told me
There it
he's
is.
from El Salvador and he's in the country illegally. I looked into his criminal history and he has a lengthy rap sheet in our area. ICE says just a few days ago, Fairfax County Police arrested Juan Arevalo for rape and kidnapping. Arevalo has a long rap sheet, which includes 2 convictions of aggravated assault, 2 for property damage, as well as attempted maiming, failure to appear, aggravated assault with a weapon, assault twice, drug possession, illegal reentry, making a false report, and obstructing justice. He was also previously arrested for assault, abduction, identity theft, drug possession, and larceny. Sean Kennedy with Virginians for Safe Communities tells us some of those crimes might never have happened had Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano not dropped previous charges against Arevalo.
This is the same guy. I think we covered him and his assistant a few weeks ago or several months ago on a similar case where an illegal immigrant was let go and they murdered someone. This same guy. I think that it's about time. People like this face legal repercussions for letting maniacs like this out. They make these decisions and they don't get affected by the consequences of these decisions. All right. Intergalactic Wrangler says he's got loads of charges. Of course, look, this is intentional. All right. I don't believe that this guy here, the prosecutor, is stupid. It's intentional. They let this guy out. He goes out and assaults someone else. He lets someone else out, and that person murdered, I think it was a girl. The same guy.
Or if he had notified ICE, he was in custody, so they could deport him.
I'm sorry. Is it still playing?
Accused of
Okay.
rape 1, which is the most serious crime in Virginia short of murder. He's eligible for life in prison and previously was arrested after a very dangerous high-speed chase where he put not only officers' lives in danger, but a number of people on 495. So this individual is very dangerous and has proven himself a threat to the community and was yet again released by Steve Descano.
In January, Fairfax County Police arrested Arevalo after a high-speed chase on 495. Arevalo bailed out of the car and ran, but police caught up to him and arrested him on outstanding warrants in Fairfax County for crimes including abduction and assaulting a family member. Descano's office dropped those charges along with the fleeing law enforcement charge. Stephen Shillingford is a retired Fairfax County homicide detective.
What we've been seeing with Mr. Descano is just a pattern, a systematic pattern of dropping charges on violent criminals who have come back and committed more heinous crimes, murders, more rapes, robberies.
Descano's office claims that the person who reported the assault and abduction in January later told investigators she hadn't been telling the truth about what happened.
As a former sex crimes detective, I've seen cases like that happen, and victims sometimes often recant. You see domestic violence, women who are victims of domestic violence. For whatever reason, they recant or don't show up in court because they're afraid their significant other might go to jail.
Now, it is a crime to file a false police report. So when Mr. Descano's office gave me that explanation about the assault and abduction charge on a family member, I asked if they filed charges against the person who gave them false information.
Of course, no.
They have not responded to that question. But if that person did indeed give me...
Guys, this is a great point, because they said that to deflect from what they actually did by releasing this guy. They want to put it on the victim. They want to blame the victim for them releasing this guy. The same guy, this Descano guy, okay, said that the reason why they released the guy who was released early, and went on to murder someone, his excuse was that the community refused to cooperate with law enforcement. That was his excuse. There's always an excuse with this guy. There's always an excuse with this guy about why he's releasing violent criminals back into the society.
Mr. Descano's office and investigators false information that may explain why.
All right, this is not Intergalactic Wrangler's fault. Okay, so this is clearly my computer.
Those two charges were dropped, but that does not explain why Mr. Descano's office dropped the fleeing from law enforcement charge. Back to you.
Nick, Fairfax.
Yeah, so this is Virginia. Yet again, horrible leftist policy having consequences. An illegal alien breaks into the country. You give him more rights than American citizens. You protect him from law enforcement. You keep him from being deported. He goes on to murder or assault young ladies. And then you turn around and you still turn him loose. You release him saying there's no evidence, or the person who was assaulted changed their mind. And then when they're asked, did you prosecute the person for filing a false police report? No response. JM says, talk about a maniac from Gotham City, Arkham Asylum. Like, look at the guy's head. Okay, now this is not me being mean, but look, maybe this is his not so good side, okay? He took a picture with his not so good side. All of us have the not so good side, okay? So let's just give him some grace, but this is not a good look, okay? He Gotham Asylum, So we're going to be looking at the body cams from the January 6th situation. I just want to cover one more of these stories. They're just a bunch of stories, and look, I feel I don't like now. What do I want to say now? I don't like having a dark live stream where it's just like, oh, bad things, bad things, bad things, bad things. I don't like it either. But it's always great to kind of have the perspective of here's what's going on, here's what's at stake. Because we have great things happening under the Trump administration. And I had this hearing, this footage from a hearing with RFK. All right. Now, RFK was before Congress, and again, just like the Democrats always do, they attack Trump appointees and try to pin the sins of the world on the Trump administration. All right. Secretary RFK Jr. brutally takes down Senator Wyden. All right. Now, what are they trying to do? Let's have a listen. And guys, let me know your thoughts in the chat.
That a 3-year-old girl was sexually abused
Well, okay, what's going on?
in a foster home at an agency that you oversee. Are you familiar with this?
No, I am not.
You're the Secretary of Health and Human Services, and it's in a national public. publication and you didn't know that a 3-year-old girl.
All right. This is not Intergalactic Wrangler's fault.
I can tell you there were tens of thousands of girls and boys who were sexually abused. The Biden administration lost 425,000 children, and you never complained.
Whose job is it to inform you of
He ignores
something
that.
like this? Because this, to me, is an unconscionable case.
Yeah, but why weren't you worried when he lost 425,000 children? Why are you suddenly worried?
I read this in the
Why are you
newspaper.
suddenly worried about sexual abuse of children now and trafficking when it was mass promoted under the Biden administration?
Yeah.
Where they gave 425,000 children to adults without
I'm
identification.
asking the questions here, and this was in a national publication seen by millions of people, an unconscionable example of mistreatment of a 3-year-old, and you don't know anything about it.
This is selective indignation.
I'm just going to say.
It's very dishonest, Senator.
We have been working on this for years.
Why don't you help us find those children who are lost, still lost? We found
We're working on this
138,000.
right now, and we'll have additional opportunities to talk to you. The reality is that this has been a long hearing, but
Is this guy
a particularly
real?
important one, because the view on so many of these issues where you basically bob, weave, and deny, for example, your views on vaccines are toxic. You know, people are suffering.
Wondering why the videos are stalling.
As a result of your discouraging vaccination, and American families suffer. And I've asked you repeatedly to give specifics. We had all these members who are on our legislation, all these members say that they're concerned about Trump RX and people not getting fair prices. You could settle this by giving me tomorrow all the details.
So Trump RX has, from what we've been told, massively cut down the cost of medication for American citizens. Massively. You can go directly to the manufacturers and buy these medication for a fraction of the cost that you'll get it from the local pharmacy or through your health insurance. And the Democrats are lying and saying that that's not what's happening. At the same time, saying they need to see reports. So which is it? They are telling us that that Trump RX is massively overpricing drugs, while saying that they need to see the reports from Trump RX on the transactions that show how much people are paying. If you don't listen to these guys carefully, you get sucked in the theatrics of these, I don't want to call them demons, but JM says, I grow sick of these demons. First off, he's attacking RFK about a 3-year-old who got assaulted in a foster system. And he's like, I saw this in the papers, and whose job is it to report this to you? And yada yada yada. He's bloviating and making it sound like the Trump administration isn't taking care of 3-year-olds who are in foster care. Meanwhile, there were over 400,000 children that the Biden administration misplaced, like they were car keys. They couldn't tell you where these kids were. These people didn't say a word. And when it was raised, you were fear-mongering, or you were a conspiracy theorist, you were a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Oh, let me tell you something else that's rich. Okay, when The Sound of Freedom, Mel Gibson's Was it Mel Gibson that funded that movie? No. It wasn't Mel Gibson. It was someone else. It was Angel Studios that released it, but it had been filmed and produced a long time ago. Sound of Freedom is a movie about child trafficking. It was released on July 4th of, I think it was 2024. I think that was when it was released. And we had the news media screaming that it was a QAnon conspiracy. You had Hollywood claiming that it was QAnon, and they went after anyone who promoted it. You had people losing their channels. There's someone who lost his channel because he talked about the movie. He lost his YouTube channel for talking about Sound of Freedom. Now, do you know what's rich? I follow people who review movies, and the Supergirl movie, which has been a catastrophe, it has bombed, it has failed, and people said it was going to fail because, of course, they were pushing a feminist, woke ideology in the movie, and the Supergirl essentially treated Superman like he was trash. Okay. She did it at the end of the Superman movie, and then she did it during this movie. Of course, the movie bombed. All right. And the writers of the movie couldn't even promote the movie with truth, justice, and the American way. What they put in the caption during the promotions was truth, justice, and whatever. A very un-American position to take. The movie failed. Guess what the woke critics started doing on X? They started saying that if you didn't support the movie, and you thought that it wasn't a groundbreaking movie, that you supported child trafficking. It's crazy. That meanwhile, the same people, when an actual movie based on real, actual incidents that happened in real life was released about that exposed child trafficking, what did they say? They said it was a QAnon conspiracy. The same critics. Yeah, we're dealing with a brood of vipers. JM says, special place in hell for those who hurt little ones of God. That movie made me cry. I supported it and I saw it in the movies. I saw that movie when it went to streaming. I wanted to go see the movie, but over here where we live, it's not very, the cinemas aren't we have movie releases here, but movies like Sound of Freedom don't stay in circulation for too long. Intergalactic Wrangler says Supergirl was okay, not great, and says Supergirl was okay, not great. They needed the girl from the show Supergirl. That character crossed with Flash and Minion. Yeah, people said that Melissa Benoist, and that's her name, that's the name of the actress, that Melissa Benoist was really great, and then they brought someone who was just like if you're being compared to a low budget what they call those movies, is it CM? They have this series of superhero movies, Flash, Green Arrow, and so on, that if those actors or those shows did better than the movie, then you have a problem. So that's essentially what happened. Okay, guys. Let's play a game, okay? Let's play a game called Find the Insurrection, okay? There's more videos that I would like to play, but let's just jump over to Find the Insurrection. Oh, jeez. Let's play Find the Insurrection. Okay, so I'll start with showing you this website. So we have Judicial Watch, and they released, there was a release of over 1,600. I'm going to refresh the page see how many more, because okay, it's still at 1,627 videos released. These are all body cam videos from January 6th. Now we're going to play we're going to play as many of them as we can, but we're not going to just play we're not just going to play the thing end to end, because most of it is people getting out of their cars and walking and standing around and talking before they move into the crowd. I don't know what's going on with the videos here. And so you have the actual videos of the episodes during January 6th. All right. So we're going to start with a video. We're going to start with a couple of these videos. Okay. So this is the very first video on the set. Okay. All right. Let me see. Can I do this? Yes, I can. All right. So you guys, let me know where the insurrection is. All right. So here's the Capitol Police on the scene, walking around. We're looking for the insurrection, guys. Where is it? Where are the insurrectionists? All right, so we're going to skip forward. I'm going to go closer to where they have encounters with the protesters. Oh no, the rioters, the insurrectionists. Let's use the words that they told us to use. Okay, so let's find the insurrectionists, the people who were so fearsome that Nancy Pelosi shit her pants, jumped into a car, and drove off. Come on. All right, so there's bombs flying. All right, there's bombs flying. They're trying to get. I'm being facetious. If you don't, come on. What's going on here? You can hear them screaming USA. Such an insurrection. So I'm trying to close as many tabs as I can. This is why I don't like Windows. Windows just hogs memory and suddenly it just starts breaking. Okay, so we see the insurrectionists. They're holding a flag. All right. Now, Democrats told us that they attacked law enforcement. They attacked them. They saw law enforcement and surged. And there were how many people did the Democrats say the insurrectionists killed, or people who died of their injuries? Can someone let me know in the chat? Can someone let me know in the chat? They said these people, okay, the insurrectionists charged the police, attacked them, and then one of them died of their wounds. Oh no. Copy links on Notepad. That might be a good idea, but the links aren't exactly hogging. Like I don't have tabs open. I don't have all the tabs open. I stopped doing that weeks ago, but I'm going to figure out why this is happening today. Maybe what I'll do is I'll restart the computer before I live stream so that I don't have anything hogging memory in the background. Maybe I'll do that. All right, so we're waiting for the insurrection. We're looking for it. All right. Yeah, so, oh, there they are. Someone is lying on the floor. Did they attack someone? They're waving the American flag. Oh no, the flag should be on fire. Oh, does he need help? One of the insurrectionists needs help. Let's find the insurrection, guys. Okay, so let me know when you spot it, okay? Let me know when you spot the insurrection. So that guy had a cut. Okay, but the guy with the cut isn't a police officer. So let's see. Gardening says, one of the great things about the release is some of the ones accused are now able to show what really happened. That is a fact. All right. That's like, I'm eager to see what's, oh, come on. Anyway, let's just, it's going to start playing again. I'm eager to see what it is that actually happened on January 6th. Okay, they told us all this bad stuff happened. Okay, so let's see the bad stuff that happened. I'm trying to make sure that I don't have anything hogging. Yeah, well, this is going to play. It's going to play. You know, I'm tempted to download all 1,627 videos onto a hard drive for safekeeping. Just to make sure we don't wake up tomorrow and suddenly there's a court order that this website has to be shut down. So I'm gonna just drop the size. I don't have anything else open. Okay, the memory on this computer should be. Let's see. Everything is going into Chrome. All the memory is going into Chrome, and I still have 58% of memory to spare. Anyway, let's keep going. Intergalactic Wrangler is not your fault, okay? We're just going to keep trying to watch this. Unless the problem is there are too many people trying to watch this, but it's on Vimeo. It's on Vimeo, so Vimeo should be able to carry the load. So I don't think it's a problem with the server. Okay, so I'm going to skip forward just a little. They're still standing in the stairwell. They're standing in the stairwell and they're about to step out onto the balcony. So I'm going to skip forward just a little. Jeez. All right, so that's the QAnon. Yeah. Now, remember this guy, the QAnon shaman, okay? He just walked by. Ah, come on. Okay, I'm gonna hit refresh, okay? Good. I hate it when this happens. All right. Right? Is that the QAnon shaman? The guy who they said was so dangerous. Yeah, that's him there. They said he's so dangerous. He attacked the police. He just walked by. He's being escorted by Capitol Police. He didn't do anything. Guys, we're playing a game. Spot the insurrection.
To get everybody out of the Capitol? Is our goal right now to get everybody out of the Capitol? You can't do that until you lock down the perimeter. Yeah. As we push them out, they're going to still breach. They're going to still breach stuff. This breach points out.
So at this point, at 3 o'clock, in the afternoon, they are still waiting on orders about what to do with the people who are inside of the Capitol.
Look the same? Probably not. I'm trying to look for helmets that are different. Yeah, me too. I don't see any of our guys over there on the line.
All right, I see you. No problem, gardening. Spot the insurrection. We're yet to see anything.
What's that guy got in his bag? See the guy kneeling down with the duffel bag right there?
Oh, threat.
The female to the right. He's right there.
Threat detected. Okay, that wasn't a threat because he's walking away from the window. Okay, so they just heard from the watch commander. That's what he just said. And they said to monitor and not let them trash the place. So they're standing around and clearly no one is trashing the place. All right. So I don't see an insurrection yet. Let's keep going. So this was at 3:02, 15:02, 15:02. I don't know how they say that. Hours. Okay. All right. So that was the last report. So we're going to watch one other video. So what's going to be happening over the next few weeks is that there are going to be people who are going to be scrubbing through all 1,625, and they're going to be posting what they find on X. So there's this account, Emily Lazelle, who posted this a few hours ago. We watched a bit of this today during the members only live stream. She says, watch this J6 body cam footage at 26 minutes. The crowd was saying, oops, I'm not sharing the screen. The crowd was saying, we back the blue. They were saying it clearly. Like, this reminds me of what happened back in Nigeria with the End SARS protests, okay? There were people who were simply holding the flag, the national flag, and singing the national anthem while the military fired into the crowd. So it just kind of reminded me of that. Out of nowhere, the police starts hitting them with sticks and violently shoving them to the ground. Disgusting. This is the body cam footage they tried to keep hidden from the public. So they said that the people who were violent were the protesters. So let's find the 26 minutes. We're going to find the 26 minutes. It's 25 minutes. So we're going to see, let's start from here. All right. So let me know when you see the insurrection, guys. Oh no. So this is the 24th minute. Oh, he's violent. He's holding a hockey stick. This is a veteran saying, "We defended you." This, the Democrats claim that they are diverse and that Republicans and MAGA are white supremacists. Meanwhile, this person over here clearly is of immigrant descent. The guy who has the flag around his shoulder. This guy over here, okay? He's clearly an immigrant because he still has his accent. So he's Asian. Like, look, people were angry. People were angry, okay? People were angry. The 2020 election, guys, was stolen. It was. All right, so now let me know what you see, okay? Who was the first aggressor? Because the 26th minute is coming up. Okay, so we're here. He said, "Please don't hurt us." And then now they're shoving them. Unprovoked. They're shoving them now. And then they push this guy down. I think they hit him. The guy on the left, they hit him, push him down, and then he lashes out, and then they jump on him. All right? She has a mouth on her. All right, can I ask you guys a question, okay, before we continue? I was thinking to myself, okay, while we have these live streams, okay, and we cover stories that are emerging, should we give more time to watching these body cam footage from January 6th? For a lot of us, J6 was so important. For me, it was so important. And one part of me wants to wait for the people who have all the time and resources to scrub through over 1,000 hours of videos to find all the smoking guns, okay, that the Democrats tried to hide, because do you know that they sealed these videos? They sealed these videos. We watch body cam videos regularly on this channel almost every night. And we have videos from 2025 that we watch on this channel. Body cam videos from 2025. Yet, it took over 5 years for them to release these videos. These videos were recorded in 2021, J6 2021. Yet, we have other videos that are younger that have been released easily. What were the Democrats trying to hide? So I'll put this question out to you guys. You guys just let me know if you're okay with us watching this, like giving more time to watching the body cam footage. Maybe we give 30 minutes to the news and updates, and then dive into the body cam footage to find anything that has been discovered, and we talk about it. JM says, to be honest, DC Capitol Police are all Masons who I believe were instructed on how to play their part in this staged event. The reason why they did not want the National Guards here. Okay. So let's keep watching. So the aggressors were clearly Capitol Police. They're the ones that started shoving. They're the ones that started attacking people. There was video that was released years ago of them firing tear gas into the crowd to agitate the crowd. All right, okay. Let's see. We're gonna do this for another few minutes. All right, this is J6, guys. Okay, this is J6, the elusive January 6th, where the rioters, staged an insurrection. I'm still looking for the insurrection.
What's that? Listen, you guys gotta learn. You serve me. You serve me. You serve me, buddy. You know, you fucking serve me. Okay? We the fucking people. You see that? You serve me. Listen to my orders. No, you go with my orders, not theirs. It's my orders, okay? Not you theirs, it's mine. Yo, you guys serve me. We the people. I'm not fucking crazy. There's a reason for the Constitution, bro. If this is the reason. What's the line? What's the line? What's the line? I appreciate that. What's the line? Bring it in!
And I think this was after Ashley Babbitt had been shot. So even after that, people didn't lose their minds. So this guy that they're pushing around is essentially talking to them about how they shoved a woman. They're trying to have a conversation. Okay. Now, compare this with the ICE protests. Okay, compare this with the ICE protests. Guys, have we found the insurrection yet? I'm going to skip forward for a bit to the 1 hour mark. So this is 30 minutes in. I'm going to skip forward to about an hour and 2 minutes. They're still standing around 30 minutes in. Where's the insurrection? Oh, here's a violent one. He's saying thank you. He's a violent insurrectionist.
Hey guys, let's give him one step. Let's give him one step. Let's give him one step.
Yeah, you give
How many of you got one?
coronavirus, right? We give away some of our rights, then it keeps more and more.
All right, look, they said we can stay right here. No further. Don't come up here. I've not been touching it. That's good. That's good. Take that. But I still think we need somebody out here.
Okay. Where's the insurrection, guys? All right, so everyone is behaving. They're standing exactly where they were told to stand. Let's move forward a little. 1 hour, 16 minutes. Where is the insurrection? All right, so what we're gonna do? Okay, so we're gonna be. I'm gonna skip forward a little. So the only violence I've seen so far is the police shoving protesters. Yeah, that was a nice bust of the man himself. That was a nice bust of the man himself, trying to get that timestamp. There it is. Yeah, right there. That's a nice bust. Okay, so let's see. I'm trying to skip forward to see. I see some movement on the 1 hour 56th minute. Let's see what happens here.
Children are dying. 2,400 children dying every day because of these fucking communists. That's exactly what they are. They're harvesting them. They are. They're harvesting their blood. Babies are dying as we speak. Why in Egypt do they only have 200 people? Pictures of missing a year. It really motivates me to do what I can do. 200,000. Why is that? God. Come on, use your head, guys. I know y'all understand. He did not stand that innocent death.
All right, so let me ask a question before we wrap up, because like already we've seen that the aggression came from the Capitol Police, at least in this video. But let me ask you, can we give more time to kind of scrubbing through these videos? And again, we have accounts like this one that are going to be giving us the scoop on what they find within the video. So while we go serially through the videos that have been provided, we're going to be depending on others. Let's see. This one says felony riots. Let's see. This is how many? This is about 1 minute. I saw it. There it is. That was the insurrection. Oh, it was a shadow. Look, these people have just... We're fed up with all the lies. And this is... Look, and like I said earlier, okay, in spite of the fact that all this evidence has been released, they are still going to continue to call it an insurrection, in spite of all the evidence that's out there. All right, so this video is titled Felony Riots. U.S. Capitol grounds. This is at 4:38 in the evening. Okay, this is outside the grounds. All right. Now they read. Okay. Oh, okay. So I've freed up the audio. There's no audio. They've redacted some of the audio here. The police is just standing around and not doing anything. Maybe they're talking about their barbecue. Okay, no, this is spring, so there's no barbecue. There's no barbecue happening in spring. All right, we're watching the January 6th insurrection, guys. This has got to be the most boring insurrection I've ever seen. Okay, I've never seen an insurrection before, but you get what I'm saying. We're waiting for the violence, like the Molotov cocktails that are flying into federal buildings, like what we saw in California last year with the anti-ICE riots. The Democrats said that was mostly peaceful, by the way. You had regular people, Antifa people, breaking up the sidewalk and flinging rocks the size of fists at ICE vehicles. Although, but that was mostly peaceful. I'm waiting for one of the protesters to start breaking off pieces of the Capitol building and logging it at the police. Wow, this video said felony riots. I'm waiting for the felony riots. And the sound comes in at the very end. All right, so guys, should we continue the should we have this as a fixture until all of the footage has been reviewed, where we look for the insurrection? We've been hearing for 5 years how January 6th was such an insurrection. It was worse than 9/11. It was worse than 9/11. These guys are so dense. Is it that they are so dense or they are so evil that they will compare 2 planes flying into 2 high-rise buildings, raining down ash and asbestos onto the people below, people jumping out of buildings trying to escape the flames? They are equating that with this. So we didn't find an insurrection today. Maybe we'll find one tomorrow. So we're going to be playing more of this tomorrow. In my spare time, I might just scrub through. Let's see. Yes, we should. JM believes that we should give more time to looking at these videos, finding more people who are essentially locating some of these incidents online and using that to run our own. It's more of a watch party. We're watching together, okay? I spoke with an old friend, the same guy I spoke about earlier during the live stream, who was attacking me about President Trump, his DOJ prosecuting Letitia James and saying that it was the weaponization of the justice system. And he went on and on and on. During a much earlier conversation, he attacked me about January 6th. He said, January 6th, what about January 6th? And I couldn't believe my ears that after 5 years, after the hoax had been debunked, this guy who is well educated, he is internet savvy, he knows how to do his own research if he cared to do the research, but he chose to continue listening and believing the lie. Even after the video of Nancy Pelosi in her car taking responsibility for not accepting National Guard when Trump offered it. It's all out there. He ignores it. And then he tells me Trump caused an insurrection. There will be people out there who will not believe it even when they see it. All the evidence is out here now. The midterms are on. There will be Democrats. There will be Democrats who will say, yeah, some people are willingly ignorant and blind. There will be Democrats who will say, well, January 6th was an insurrection that was worse than 9/11. And then you'll have the voters, oh yes, yes, you tell them. You're going to have the voters saying that because in spite of all the evidence out there to the contrary, okay, let's take a roll call, okay? You have Trump having lived in the public eye for 50 years. And nobody called him a Nazi. Nobody called him a racist. In fact, some of the people he hung around the most were black people. Nobody said anything about that until he came down the golden escalator. And people who had known of him for 50 years were suddenly told, he's a racist. Really? They had seen this guy for 50 years. They had seen him with Oprah. They'd seen him with Jesse Jackson. They'd seen him with Don King. They'd seen him with Mike Tyson. They'd seen him with all of the prominent black rappers. They sang about him on their albums and everything. Then suddenly, he's a racist. He hates black people. Really? Really? Are you serious? He's a racist? Again, Project Mockingbird. So I don't think this is going to change anything. We're going to continue to see people calling him a racist, saying that we're going to see people saying that January 6th was an insurrection. We're going to keep seeing that. So there's no where. So JM has agreed that we should. Is anyone else willing to second that motion? Okay. This is later in the evening at 7 p.m. 4 minutes. Like there's a lot of footage, guys. 8,627. So we have body cam footage for days. Okay, so let's see what happens. And you guys will let me know. Let's see. I go with JM. JM is the boss now. Hey, it's a Galactic Wrangler. Where are you? Are you in bed? Okay, so let's call it a night. Okay, guys, thank you so much, and let's go around the horn. Gardening, thank you. All right, thank you for all the work you do, and for essentially this link. Okay, came courtesy of Gardening's research. So thank you, Gardening, for all the work you put in. You find some good stuff, and we love it. And then Intergalactic Wrangler, he says, I'm here. Always glad to have you. Always glad to see you. I'm sleepy, he says. Yeah, me too. I'm sleepy, but I still have some work to do. I have some coding to do. And I'm going to be up for a couple of hours more, I think. I'll go down to make sure that family is good. Then I'll come back up and do some extra work tonight. And then we have JM21999. That's a mouthful. Try saying that 5 times. Thank you so much, JM. You are amazing. And thank you for being a part of our team. Guys, so my wife asked me a question this evening before I came up for the live stream. And she asked, how's the live stream doing? And I said to her, it's growing. I have people who show up every single time I go live these days. And I'm glad that, like, I have live streams that I went live and there was nobody. There was nobody. And so, guys, I want to say thank you to you guys who show up every time, even those who are lurking. That is for the lurkers. Those of you who hang around and watch and, you don't chat, you don't do anything, but you're there. You like the live stream, you share the live stream, and, You don't want to. Oh, and we had a first time chatter. I don't know if she stayed until the end. Dottie Reed. So Dottie essentially left one comment, and I think she may have dipped out, but but I'm grateful that she left a comment. Look, guys, just stay with me, okay? Hang in there with me. We're going to be having the Find the Insurrection series. We're going to be going into these videos, 1,627 videos. We were told that we were we are the should we do a t-shirt? We are the felons. I'm going to shorten my name soon. We are okay, so it's an inside joke. If you don't know, you don't know. Okay, so we were told that MAGA was dangerous. MAGA was a danger to democracy. MAGA stormed the Capitol. Trump instigated an insurrection. We're looking for the insurrection. We haven't found any yet with tonight's watch party. Tomorrow, we're going to be back. We're going to be looking for the insurrection. We have 1,627 body cam videos from the Capitol Police. Okay, we're going to look for the insurrection and we're going to find it. Okay, surely the politicians in Washington, D.C. weren't lying to us. Surely the mainstream media has not been lying to us for 5 or 6 years. Surely there's evidence that shows that these were rabid MAGA patriots or MAGA insurrectionists who attacked Capitol Police. They were so savage in their attack of the Capitol Police that 3 police officers died. We want to see that. The body cam should show. Someone is going to find that body cam of these insane MAGA rioters attacking these police officers and beating them up and showing how savage they were. This was such an insurrection that this was worse than 9/11. Guys, let's do this together. Let's find it. Okay? Let's find it. Surely they didn't lie to us. We have 1,627 videos. So what we'll do is we're going to watch them together. We're not end to end. We're going to do what we just did a few minutes back. We're going to skip through. We're going to look for those hot spots where, hey, it looks like something is happening. And then we watch and see if there was actually an attack from the MAGA people who are a danger to democracy. All right. Now, I want to say something very, I'm going to say something, and I want you guys to watch what happens to the channel over the next couple of weeks, all right? While we're watching these videos. I want you guys to see what happens to the channel, and then you tell me what you've observed. I'm not going to say anything, but just watch the channel and then see what you observe. So we're going to be doing that. We're not going to be having live streams where it is only the body cam footage. We're going to look at what's happening today, but we're also going to be looking at, so maybe we give 15, 20 minutes to looking at current news, and then we go into the January 6th footage. We were told this was an insurrection, and by God, we're going to find the insurrection. All right, guys. So thank you all so much. Thank you all. Gardening, Intergalactic Trump, JM, thank you. And Lurkers, thank you so much. Please, if you've enjoyed the show so far and you want to go with us on this journey to find the insurrection, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the bell icon, and leave a comment, leave a like, okay? It helps out a whole lot. And if you're feeling extra generous, please consider leaving a donation. It helps us keep the lights on. All right. It helps us keep it. It gives me a legitimate reason to keep doing this. Okay. So thank you so much for all of your support. All right, guys. Until next time, God bless you, and I'll catch you